I recently had BG Knocc Out.
Yeah,
Who was a regular guest. You guys know BG Knocc Out?
Come on.
That's the homie. He said something very interesting. BG Knocc Out's a Crip as well. His whole life. And I started to bring up these hypothetical situations, right? You're in the car, somebody, one of your rivals shoots you. Do you tell the police who did it? No. Okay. You're in the car, your mother gets shot. Do you tell the police? No. You're in the car, your child gets shot. No. A random rapper that you're internet beefing with that's not gang related shoots you. No. Under every situation, he will not tell the police who shot him, regardless of the situation. And then he says something very interesting.
Certain gangs or certain races and groups have certain policies. You ever heard the book called The Art of War?
Yeah, Sun Tzu.
Okay, so this is one of the books that, prison gangs and groups read in jail. They study this book and they live by it. Now, the whites in prison and the Mexicans, for the most part, have a policy that they can tell on anybody that's not a part of their group. It comes from the art of war. It's pretty much, getting rid of your enemy by any means. And the greatest war fought is one the greatest war won is one that you don't have to fight necessarily, right? So, they have this thing, and one thing that I do know is that if you at war, at odds with somebody or with an enemy, and you don't fight the war the same way, you're probably not gonna win.
Number one, do you go by that same set of rules?
What? No telling. Of course. That's we gonna live like
right.
We gonna rock out.
So if your own child gets killed,
that's not up for. That's none of the law's business.
Okay. Even if it's some random serial killer that got nothing to do with nothing.
Like I feel like there's one person acceptable for telling, and that's just my opinion. That's one person, and that's the civilian.
Right.
The civilian passes all laws of flop. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's grandmother that pays her taxes, that has nothing to do with nothing, that goes to church every day or goes to the masjid or wherever she does and lives her regular life and doesn't live by these gang laws and these street laws and whatever laws that we've made up to live by, if if something happens to her and that's the man that stole my purse or that's the man that then she has all right to it. That's the reality of things. It's people. Any 6 degrees of knowing of anything involved, you can there's no telling. If you're in a room and you just peek back and you see what we doing, but you know what we doing, no, there's no telling. Period. There's no telling. There's no.
I'm a civilian.
You're a civilian.
Yeah, you shoot or rob me, I'm telling.
See, but niggas might not treat you like that, Vlad. I'm not gonna lie.
It is what it is.
Niggas might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm living my truth.
Niggas might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm not gonna go shooting back at you.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
No, I didn't get anybody indicted.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
I didn't get a single person indicted. Who did I get indicted? Who did I get indicted?
I ain't about to open another indictment on who you indicted.
My name is on no paperwork. Nobody got indicted.
Realistically, it's a such thing as bait. Like it's a such thing as bait. You're a baiter. You feel me? Like you're a baiter. So of course you wouldn't take the bait for. You wouldn't say I got anybody indicted, but you fish. No. You feel me? You fish, and some of some of my peers and some of some of the people that sat in this seat aren't, I wouldn't say smart enough, but you feel me, aren't fast enough. Aren't witty enough or aren't intelligent enough to know when it's bait being swung their way or when they're supposed to dip the bait. Type shit. So hell yeah, nah. You're definitely when they say unknown CI, like it's you didn't do it, but. Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't work with the police. I don't cooperate.
No, of course not.
I don't take the stand. I don't. If police ever try to
seize
any sort of footage, I would deny it. I would fight it.
You don't got to. It go straight to go straight to YouTube.
Yeah. Whatever. You're right now you're wearing a microphone under your shirt. There's another microphone pointing at you and 2 cameras pointing at you.
That was up to me.
Whatever you say is totally up to you.
No, but
and when you
that's
say
what I
no
said.
comment, I go on to the next question.
That I fully agree with you, but see, that's what I said.
But
I said,
when you said I get people indicted, I don't get anybody indicted. I don't get nobody indicted. I'm just going. I'm going to put my foot down on that one.
nah, listen, I respect it. I respect it. You feel me? Like I respect you. And again, I'm not saying that like you don't sign nobody paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? But from a consumer standpoint, from somebody that's in the street, you know what I mean? Like, you know, in a certain world, and you know, and you sit back and you watch somebody, you know what I mean? Like you're a trickster. You know what I mean? Like you could like.
You think I trick people?
A person that isn't fast enough to keep up with what's going on, a person that can't speak, you know what I mean, that everybody doesn't speak well. Everybody doesn't, when the light's on, you know what I mean, everybody isn't, you know what I mean? So granted, a motherfucker sit here on their own.
Well,
a person could get tangled up in the VladTV interview.
Well, I'll put it like this. Some people that have interviewed with me have gotten arrested after the fact. But it was never because my interview came out and suddenly they get arrested. They get arrested for whatever illegal activities they end up doing.
And then they just end up on Vlad and then just...
No. And then, you know, the police are going to look at the whole thing. They're going to look at everything they put on Instagram. They're going to look at all the interviews they do. They're going to look at everything as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? They don't just look at VladTV.
Yeah.
They'll look at everything. You know? I never talk about anything that anyone is actively doing. We'll talk about a situation like yours that it happened. You know, if you did your time, and if you pleaded guilty to it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's any situation that was in the past statute of limitations, we'll talk about it. But I'll never say, so what illegal activities are you doing right now? I would never, ever ask that.
Nah, I know that. Vlad. I know that. We not.
No, man. I mean, and I'm happy to debate it. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand my ground. You know.
That's all it is. It's a good. You feel me? It's a good.
It's a good debate.
It's a good friendly debate. You feel?
It's a good friendly debate.
That's all.
You know, and I've had it lots of times.